got to spend some time with these guys, and I was just like, look, here's what we did. They were like, holy shit, dude. And I'm like, they asked me, is this full time? I was like, no, this is weekends only. So by the time we left, my wife came with me to that one, and she had met these guys, and she had seen how big some of these companies are.
Yeah, man.
The conversation got real about, do you think you could quit your job and do this full time? I was like, I don't know. I don't know, but you gotta do it. I mean, if you're gonna give it a shot, you gotta do it. So.
Every entrepreneur has that breaking point where they gotta take that leap of faith, that
risk,
jump. Absolutely.
Jump.
Yep.
So I left the insurance company January of 22, and then so last summer was my first, I guess, full-time summer, 7 days a week. Added a couple of jet skis, built the relationships with the guys in Florida. And the biggest thing with this is the off season, right? I mean,
what off season?
Right.
Yeah, I can make money during the summer. It's just I got to make sure that the money's there to survive from October to the following March. I did it. That's this March. We're back open, and I just gotta rinse and repeat and just keep going.
That's it, man. Yep.
So
nice.
Yeah. Anybody in this business, no matter where you are, whether it's Miami, Destin, I mean, it doesn't matter. Everybody's got to deal with that. It's even the restaurants on the water, pools. I mean, there's so many things that are affected, and you've got to make your money while you can in that season, and like you said, be able to balance that out throughout the whole year. It's a tough deal, but it can be done if you do it the right way. The off season does suck,
It got a little tight.
Yeah, no, I bet.
But we're all good now.
Awesome, awesome.
So it's been a lot of fun. 4 jet skis to 6 jet skis. Now we're at 8.
Nice.
Got the kayaks are here. I got to order the paddle boards. The boats, those are old Crab Island Destin boats.
Yeah.
My buddy Kevin O'Neill owns Destiny Water Adventures. He's the one that kind of took me in his under his wings, and we're talking one day, and he's like, "Hey, bro, you want me to send you some boats?" I'm like, all right, that's cool. So it's the relationships and the partnerships.
Right.
So that's how the boats got here. And then most recently is Bayou Boone Cycle Boats. Pamela Boone owns the boat. She's had it for a little while. And I mean, it's just, we chit-chat with each other at the marina. And one day I just called her up and I was like, hey, you want to do something together? And she's like, yeah, let's talk. So,
always a way to co-market or partner or something,
Yep.
Absolutely.
So I'm excited about that one. It's a 16-passenger Coast Guard inspected cycle boat, which means it's got the little pedals.
I've seen them in action.
Have fun and work out at the same
I've
time.
I've never done it. Have you done it, John?
I have. We almost did. But I have done the pedal, the barge on wheels. The first time it came down, the pedal pub. I think it is.
Okay, all right.
First time it came to Kima, we did a little cross promotion with the Scene magazine, and a lot of fun. Got a lot of eyes, but I've been really curious about the one on the water. So and I've kind of seen it, and then here and there. I mean, I don't know if it's consistently been here, but I guess it's here to stay now, right? I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah, nice.
Pam's had her boat here for a couple of years. Houston Pedal Barge, they moved in last summer. Absolutely crushed it. Their marketing guy is
that's good. Wow, yeah.
On top. They got more people on that lake last summer in one summer than probably all of our businesses combined from the past 5 years.
Wow.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see that, but I mean, I did see him out there, but I'm shocked. I mean, but there's it's
some people.
That's good. Yeah.
I do want to point out one thing: you don't have to pedal.
There you go.
Yeah, right. I was gonna say
you got a master Coast Guard captain and a motor.
Okay, so there is a motor.
When everybody's exhausted and a little too drunk, you'll still get
on
home.
On the pedal pub, I don't think there's a motor.
No. That one you
come on, guys.
Going,
that one,
So
wow.
Yeah, just it's just kind of happened over the past couple of years, and I guess growing up, I always wanted to be on the water and do something. And just the past 3 years, it's just kind of been coming together.
Look at you now.
Yeah, man.
Well,
That's awesome.
yeah.
No, that's awesome, Sean, man. And it's a great story, man. And like I said, I think what you're doing is really, really cool. You're in a great spot. You're expanding, and as we just talked about, we've both seen, what the water sports used to be like here, and then how it all kind of got wiped out after Ike, and just, there was the economy collapse in 2008 and 9, and then Ike, and it just it killed a lot of, development out here and investment, and a lot of stuff on the water went under, and it was not the best time for the lake.
And we had some characters, running some of those, and I'm just scrolling through all these awesome 5-star reviews. I mean, they just go on and on. You can scroll through them here on his website, jetskitx.com or jetskitexas.com. Yeah.
So there's been a void to
So
fill.
you're obviously doing it the right way,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Congratulations, man. I mean, that's awesome.
It's
This area deserves.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was getting to. It's coming back up.
Yeah.
We've needed it for a long time, definitely, man. So there's a lot of room for you to grow and fill that void. And there's plenty of people that want to come down here and rent boats and jet skis. You just got to
Absolutely.
offer a good service for them.
Yeah,
So,
take care of them. Maybe don't post political stuff on the business page.
There's a lot of that around here. Yeah. This is a very political lake.
Or sometimes get confused if it's your personal page or your business page. I mean, I've seen some crazy stuff from some of the previous operators here in the area. So I'm glad we got a serious one now, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. Oops, I guess I just took a shot, didn't I?
Yeah.
What happens? Nothing but the facts, though.
Yeah. So do you ever take people out into the bay or through the channel, or what kind of different? I mean, is that something where you would be like a guided tour? Yeah, and take them out there.
So the jet skis, we ride in the main lake.
Sure.
Yeah.
Unless I'm doing one of the sunset tours, I'll take riders back to Taylor Lake.
Right.
We do a half-day rental. It's 2 jet skis for 4 hours for $600. It's
You cover some ground in 4 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Man. So you really can see a lot.
Yeah. So those renters, they usually don't know what they're in store for a 4-hour jet ski ride.
Yeah, sure. But
So
some
I'm-
suntan lotion on.
Yeah. At 2 hours, I bring them back to the dock, and I jump on a ski, and I'll take them to Taylor Lake.
Okay.
But all of the hourly stuff is main lake only.
Yeah.
The pontoon boats, if the water's low enough, I'll do my best to explain how to get in and out of Taylor Lake. They've got a map to Taylor Lake, Party Cove, and weather permitting, the pontoon boats, you can head out into the bay.
Yeah.
So you can on the pontoon boats, definitely in 4 hours you can see a lot of stuff.
Oh,
If-
yeah.
If you can get out into the bay, and if they got their kids with them and the weather's good, I tell them you got to spend at least an hour out there. Just cruise the shorelines and wait for the dolphins to show up, and your kids will freak out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. I would love to, like I said, take one of the pontoons out and go into the bay,
Absolutely.
man.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now you got me on these dolphins, dude. I'm always like posting dolphin stuff
Yeah,
down in
yeah.
Galveston. Yeah.
I mean, if we had dolphins in the lake, dude, I'd make a killing doing dolphin
So
tours.
Right.
they have been in
I
the
know.
lake.
Yeah,
there's been sightings.
They've been in Clear
Once-
Lake and
once
in
a
Taylor.
year.
No, dude, it is like rare.
Yeah.
Never seen them in person, but have seen some posts. You
Yeah.
know, the other thing that's weird, and not to scare anybody here, but I guess I wouldn't be. Obviously there are alligators around,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But I have been in these waters a lot, and I'm talking in every single canal, down every creek, through every neighborhood. I mean, everywhere. Through the marinas. I've done it all many, many times. I've never encountered or ever seen a gator. I'm assuming I just scare them off, when I'm riding, but I've never been scared. Even back in Clear Creek, I'm off my board taking a break for a few minutes. I've never had any scares.
You need to go up Mud Lake and up.
Well,
Right,
yeah,
up the
yeah,
bayou. Yeah. I used to walk across mud. Like I grew up in Clear Lake Forest right there, and it's so now, yeah. But I've never heard of
I've
any
never even
kind
seen
of
one
attack
at Bay
or
Area
anything.
Park, even though there's signs and stuff.
Yeah.
But I know they're obviously
they're
back
there.
But it's just interesting to me. I always tell it because I've had so many customers. Because my customers are more in the water than yours are. Not that yours are never in the water.
Yeah.
You can get thrown off the jet ski, but mine are definitely going to fall off the board once or twice. And they're always like, "What's in the water?" And
I
start
get
talking about
that
all
too.
that. And,
Yeah.
so it's just interesting. But
So the two questions that I ask as they're walking down the ramp and I hand them life jackets is, first one, does everybody know how to swim?
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, great question.
Because if they don't, it's cool. I just got to explain to them, hey, if you fall in, don't panic. The second question is, anybody scared of sharks? You should see the look on their faces. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I do it all day long. My newest one is if my daughter's down there with me, or I just hired my first employee, and if they're on the dock with me, I'll look over my shoulder. It's like, hey, have you guys seen Big Al around here? And it's the same thing. The look on their face is just, I'm like, no. I'm just kidding.
That is so funny. That's another thing I have never, ever seen. I really think, I don't know what the anomaly is or why Clear Lake is so safe in that way, but I've never seen any sharks, and I know they're around. I know people catch little babies and stuff, but I think you really got to get out into the bay.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too concerned about sharks out there,
not
or
at
even
all.
alligators.
Not at all.
Yeah.
There literally is no concern. Yeah.
I have seen alligators in the lake, and both times they were in South Shore Harbor Marina.
Okay.
Really? Okay.
And actually 3 times because I was driving through Seabrook Shipyard, and there's a group of people out there, and this guy's got this massive offshore fishing combo, and I'm like, what is this guy doing? And he casts out there, and the next thing you know, he's hooked up to something monster, and sure enough, they wanted to get him to get the alligator out of there.
Oh,
so
wow.
he cast out there, and I guess he hooked it, and then the alligator rolls, and then they drag it up on the shore. So I've seen a couple.
Okay. I've seen the gator hunting in Florida, so I've raced out at some lakes out in Florida, and I mean, man, again, same thing. They're not a problem, but man, they are there, and they do. All these people that own lakes in Florida, once a year, they'll bring out a gator hunter, and they'll go to that deepest, darkest part of the lake at night, throw a couple chickens in there, and try to get anything that's over 10, 12 feet out. The rest, it's all good. Yeah. But if there's a big mamma jamma, they want to get that thing out, and then it's all good. But you got to be way over there in the very corner, like when they're feeding. There's got to be babies. Like it's literally you just got to like drop into the worst case scenario. They're like, oh man, but they've been swimming in that lake their whole lives, never had any problems or worries, but they're like, way the hell over there, and that's where you send the gator hunters, and they usually don't catch anything that big, but it's very common, and there's so many lakes out there that do that all the time.
Wow. I've seen a lot of videos of gators on golf courses out in Florida.
Oh, yeah. Dude, my uncle told me a crazy story about that. I'm assuming he was in Tampa, Clearwater area, St. Pete, somewhere around there, playing golf one day, and they pull up, they're at a water hole, or water feature, and the ball gets within 10, 15 feet of the water, whatever, and they go over, and there's this like turtle that starts coming out on shore. They notice it. And it starts walking up, 1 or 2 feet, and they're just like, man, look at this big turtle. And all of a sudden, a gator just comes out, snatches this turtle, takes it in the water, dude. And they were like walking up to look at the turtle. and this, like, it all happened right in front. They're like, oh! I remember he told me that as a kid. He's like, that's a typical day on a golf course in Florida. That is shit. They're everywhere.
Wow.
Anyways. Well, yeah, man. So, I'm excited for the summer. I'm born and raised in Clear Lake, big cheerleader and advocate for the area. Can't wait to see people on the water, renting jet skis, taking their boats out, trying to get people on these boards, man. And me and John cover so many things, between all the sailing that's happening and the boat races and the Outlaw Challenge, and I feel like all that stuff's about to start happening. We got Kills and Wheels right around the corner.
That's right,
at Lakewood Yacht Club, not too far away from you. Yeah. I'm sure that'll be a good weekend for you. There'll be lots of people over here looking for, all sorts of stuff to do that weekend. I think people come in and they stay for 2-3 days and they kind of soak it all in. The whole lake
It's in
life.
beds.
Yeah, absolutely.
They had the the Houston Yacht Club in LaPorte.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Last summer had the World Finals for laser.
Okay, for the sailboats. Yeah, the little ones. Yeah.
And we rented boats to guys, and they kept them over there for 4 days so they could watch their kids.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we went over there, and it was the world championship.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, we've covered some of them. Yeah, it's
all the
crazy.
countries on the boats, and so that's
awesome.
That was pretty cool. So
Yeah, people really don't appreciate the sailing scene here, whether it be
is.
Lakewood, Corinthian, or especially Houston Yacht Club. And I mean,
It
literally
is
year-round
world-renowned. Yeah.
sailing. I mean, like I've mentioned a couple times in the show, I mean, Houston Yacht Club puts on a regatta on January 1st. It's hangover spelled backwards. It's
I think that we have pretty much not 100% proven, but I don't know if anywhere has more regattas.
Right.
Like, I think we have, regardless of sailboats, we might host the most regattas. Like,
yeah, I think so.
it's a lot.
No, I mean, you go over the Kemah Bridge and look over, look over into the bay, on any given weekend, and
there's some type of race. Yeah,
there's
or
a
training or something.
There's a 2 out of 3 chance that there's a regatta going on out in the bay. Yeah.
I would say out of the 51 episodes we've done, at least 25 of those, there was an active race going on
Right, well,
in the lake on Wednesday.
Yeah, on
we would
Wednesday.
always talk about Wednesday sailboat races, and they would
man.
literally be going on. And so that's a lot of fun to see.
Yeah,
and,
that's one of the events that really makes this place special. You kind of mentioned when you first came down Space Center and you saw the Hilton and then the lake.
Yeah.
Nothing like coming down Space Center on a Wednesday night during the Wednesday night sailboat races, just seeing all the spinnakers out in the lake. And of course, we're so blessed here because the Wednesday night sailboat races is a tradition that it's in a lot of other cities, but nowhere do you get to be it's like a lake with so much spectator, where you can be so close to it, and they actually lay out the course really to kind of cater
so many
to the audience.
Venues on the water that can see the different turn points.
Yeah,
and feel like they're
it's
kind
really
of involved.
awesome. Yeah, it's been as I've mentioned in the show, I used to sponsor a boat, and we used to have every issue of the Scene had a whole Weekends in the Water section and the calendar. And
I think you got to go out once or twice.
I've sailed it, and and that and the Harvest Moon. But and then also I had Buddy Brown, who used to be the head of the whole Clear Lake Racing Association. He used to write a monthly column in the Scene back in the early days of the Scene before he moved away. But it's just such a cool tradition. I remember. Gosh, maybe 5-10 years ago. I mean, there was a whole series of Rolex sponsored events at Houston Yacht Club, and world class championships. Yeah,
these yacht clubs are no joke around here.
No,
if people don't know about them or they're not active in them, but I mean, they are very active in a lot of ways. They have a lot of members. They have constant events. They're on the world stage. I mean, they're a bigger deal than people realize.
Yeah,
they just might not be in that scene or that community. But
right, then you have all the youth sailors from Lakewood that are competing in the Mediterranean.
They're
stuff.
so active.
It's really
Noah Zitre used to work for me. And was an incredible jet surf rider and trainer, and come to find out, an Olympic sailor. A professional kiteboarder. I mean, this kid was like 16 years old, already on the youth Olympic team for sailing. I'm like, wow, he's literally going to Italy and competing. Like, this is amazing, So, and they train here. They got into sailing because they live here. Their dad was a member of the yacht club, and maybe he grew up sailing, whatever, and gets his son into it. And so there's a lot of that going on. The youth sailing is huge.
Huge here.
A lot of the yacht clubs, and I think the families really support that. Yeah. And they put money into it. I mean, Lakewood Yacht Club just bought all those. They bought a whole fleet. Yeah. It was like a $300,000 or $400,000 youth sailing deal. I remember
at least right from KO Sailing.
KO Sailing. There was like rest his soul. R.I.P. I think that was one of the last big deals that he did. I mean, it was a huge part of that, making that growing the youth community. Yeah, it's cool, man. It's cool to see.
It's always cool seeing them, all the little lasers all connected to each other, pulling them out into the all those little kids. They're like, I mean, look like they're in kindergarten, and they're all in a boat by themselves, learning how to sail before most kids learn how to swim. I mean, it's pretty cool. That's awesome. Yeah, it's really we're so blessed to live in such a unique area. That's that's why I call it the waterfront capital of Texas, man.
Yeah,
if this isn't, I don't know where is. Yeah,
that's right.
I can never decide if I live on the North Shore, but I love the South Shore as well. I feel like I'm constantly between the North Shore and the South Shore. Like you said earlier, starting on the South Shore and end up on the North Shore. But it's a great place to live. It's always held a special place in my heart, and I love telling people about it sometimes when they don't realize. I'm like, did you know Clear Lake, it has like 12 different water authorities. Like I was talking today in a meeting about that, and that was, they were talking about, hey, have you thought about moving boards to, water authorities? And I'm like, yes, we've definitely thought about it. It's a whole different beast. And I was like, yeah, there's 7 municipalities on Clear Lake, 2 counties, Coast Guard, and state game wardens. You literally have like 11 water authorities on Clear Lake. It's like, man, it's just really interesting place. There's not a lot of lakes or places that can say that. So it's very unique and diverse.
The tour boat that used to leave from the Kemah Boardwalk years ago. It's the Baywatch down in Galveston now.
Oh, okay.
But at one time, that boat was at the Kemah Boardwalk, and this was before I lived down here. And you'd get on, and they'd hit play on a little tape recorder, and it'd start giving you, fun facts about the area.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things. It was like, 8 municipalities, 2 counties. And, in what was it, in 1949, if you bought a 6-month subscription to the Houston Post, you could buy a lot in Clear Lake Shores for $69.99.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Wow.
Gosh,
that's insane.
The history around here is crazy.
Yeah, it really is.
Toddville Road connects back to Galveston and like the mobsters. And I mean, there's a lot of history in the Seabrook area. And then we talked a lot about the West Mansion and the development and all that. We were talking earlier how when you drive either on Space Center, you're coming down NASA, and you see the Hilton, regardless of which way you're coming from, and you kind of like, you either look to the right or look straight ahead, and you see the lake. Me and Alyssa were talking about this, how it's really exciting when you're driving up and you see this awesome hotel, and then you're like, oh, it's on the water, and then you would see the mansion on the left, and then you're at the park, and it's like, wow, like you're really getting into it, and everything, And now you don't have the mansion to the left anymore, but it's still like you get that feeling. I get excited thinking about people just
their first time coming here.
Yeah. And then like you said, you see jet skis on the water and people having fun, or boats, or people fishing, or the sailboats, and it's super cool, man.
Yeah,
it really is.
Getting everybody out on the water.
Yeah,
is that because we get visitors all the time, and they're like, they've never seen a beach.
Yeah.
Like, get in your car. You're almost there. Just keep going.
Yeah, a lot of people do confuse this with Galveston. I've had so many rentals where they're like, wait, we're thinking about going here. We thought we were over here, and they're like, are we in Galveston? I'm like, no, Galveston Bay is right there. But 30 more minutes, 20 more minutes, and it's interesting how many people even that aren't from Houston. Like I've had so many couples come in town. They're just in Houston for the weekend, and I mean there's other places, with really pretty water, but they still come to Houston and want to go to the water. They come all the way in from town to go to Clear Lake to rent a jet ski or a jet board or whatever, or get on a boat.
And fun fact, we are the closest body of water to the city of Houston.
Yeah, it's official.
It's official.
Sean's done some research.
I measured it.
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very true. I would say that a really, really strong majority of people in the greater Houston area do store and keep their boats down here. There is a lot of marinas, a lot of boat slips, not just sailboats, power boats, speed boats. Some people, they Galveston, Conroe, but not really Lake Houston. I think that Clear Lake has like 80% of the greater Houston boating storage area. So you're right. Most people in Houston, they're coming to Clear Lake.
Well, it's really the whole middle of the country, because I used to have an office right at the South Shore Harbor Marina where the bathrooms were, Yeah. And,
I actually walked through there the other day.
Yeah. And I'd meet so many people from like Oklahoma City. They have a boat here, from just all up the middle of the country, man. And then this is where they come. This is where they have their boat, or this is their playground. I mean, we're kind of like the playground for Middle America in a way.
Yeah,
at least that's my story.
A lot of Beaumont, Lake Charles,
that too,
those people that they're not in Houston, but they choose for this to be their boating area where they store their boat, and when they come in for the summer, or when they're messing with their boat, they just drive over here. Yeah.
No, it's always fun to kind of look at the boats, and first of all, it's always fun to look at the names, but then see what cities. A lot of times they're local, but then there's like Nacogdoches, Texas. Big old Sea Ray. That's that's not going to fit in Lake Nacogdoches.
Exactly.
But it's really cool. Just this really kind of is, because of the water, the playground for for this whole region.
I mean, as we say, this is the waterfront capital of Texas.
Waterfront capital of Texas, man.
Yeah, it really is.
Or the Galactic Coast, with where space meets.
I saw that today. I like that.
So I always like telling people, and I've said it 1,000 times on the show, but the fact that there's so many points around here where you can drop in a boat and literally sell the world. Like this, you know what I mean? Like that's what's unique about Clear Lake is it's not necessarily a freshwater lake. You're not, gridlocked. I mean, from Taylor Lake to Clear Creek to whatever, there's little canals that go all the way up to Marina Bay Drive, but like you throw a boat in there and you can literally sell the 7 Seas, right from there. And it's like, it's just like kind of amazing to me. Yeah. I love that. But we're tucked away over here, kind of off of all of it. It's really nice. Yeah. Well, cool, man. Sean? Dude, if there's anything else, man, you want to, talk about,
JetSkiTexas.com.
JetSkiTexas.com.
Anything, let us know, man, now, yeah.
Just real quick, if I may.
Please.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anybody that's listening to this that is interested in the water sports business, whatever it is, or interested in getting in or already in the water sports business, we do have a Facebook group. It's a weird name. Water Sports and Boat Tour Operators Group.
Okay.
There's about 1,000 of us in there now. It's not my group, but I've been in it for a while. There's about 1,000 of us in there, and everything from a guy like me that started out with a couple of jet skis to some of the biggest operators in the country. You can ask any question, and those guys are there to give you the best information.
Good resource, yeah.
There's also a podcast for water sports guys. It's called the Awkward Water Sports Guys Podcast.
Oh, nice.
All right. Yeah. That's a nice ring to it.
And then once a year, we all get together in Orlando. And same thing. Everybody from, just starting off with a couple of kayaks to some of these huge operators that are there.
Yeah.
So just, the water sports community should be what this is, with Jordan and I talking about water sports business and being open to talking to other people.
Advocating, promoting,
all in it together.
Marketing,
yeah.
We all have the same
higher
goals,
tide raises all boats, right?
That's it, man. Absolutely, yeah. So
I just want to get that out there. Anybody that's interested, get in touch with me, and it's a big lake. We got, between the Space Center and Kemah, Galveston, we got 4, 5, 6 million visitors running around.
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Right.
So,
tons.
Everybody's looking for something to do, so.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good deal. Well, is there anything you want to end with, John?
Man, just really glad you could join us. Yeah.
Dude, I appreciate
Sean
it.
Walsh of Jet Ski Texas.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
But not limited to jet skis.
No, exactly. Yeah, no, yeah. Anything fun on the water over there. I'm excited to see the kayaks and the new paddle boards going as well. Yeah. And then, I think, we definitely need to try to, at some point, man, we got to, figure out how to get some jet boards implemented into this
Absolutely,
thing.
I got to ride one first.
There you go.
Yeah, I want to ride one of these things.
Yeah.
I see some collaborations in the future.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Like I said, man, we're all in it to, just have fun on the water, man, and promote people just going out and enjoying the lake, So, yeah. Well, Sean, again, dude, thank you so much for coming on. Definitely check him out, guys.
Absolutely.
On Jet Ski Texas, and he's definitely the number one place to rent any type of water equipment right now on the lake. So definitely check him out. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, man.
All right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
All right.
Absolutely. Our pleasure.
Later.
It's Weekends on the Water,
Thanks for listening to today's show.
the official podcast of the waterfront capital of Texas.
Sponsored by Water. Water. Much better than drinking sand.
Weekends on the Water. Let's make it Weekends on the Water. With Jordan Davlin of Jet Surf Houston and Scene Magazine publisher John Ennis.